All right, everyone. Well, welcome to tonight's Zoom. My name is Kelly Hoover. I'm incredibly excited to be here tonight with you all and just to share a little bit about what it's going to do. We're not going to keep you long. I promise that we're going to have this as quick as we possibly can, but I'm very, very, very excited to introduce three incredible ladies tonight. But first, I just want to welcome you and just say this is an opportunity, business opportunity Zoom with LEMD. And I myself have spent 15 years in the pharmaceutical industry. And then the last 10 years I have spent in the supplement and peptide industry. I personally landed upon LEMD about a year ago and have just been blown away with the quality of the peptides, the growth, the service, and the education. It has been incredible not only for me, but for so many people that I can help educate and serve around. But tonight, we are really looking at focusing and what does it look like for you? Maybe you're a healthcare professional. I know we all respect healthcare professionals, so maybe you want to hear their perspective. Like, why are healthcare professionals choosing to partner with LEMD, and what does that look like? So, I have asked three friends of mine to come on tonight and to share a little bit about their experience. So, I've asked them if they'll take a small introduction for themselves. And then, more importantly, like what are the things for them and their healthcare profession? Why did they choose to partner with LEMD? And so, first, I would like to introduce Rebecca, and Rebecca's going to kick us off. Thank you so much for sharing tonight.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Kelly. I'm Rebecca Lund. I'm a functional diagnostic nutrition practitioner, or otherwise known as an FDN. And what that means is I focus on optimizing people's health as a whole. I use functional labs. I'm assessing gut health, hormones, genetics, metabolic health, and doing those kind of thorough assessments. I like to clarify what each person needs from a personalized approach. So I really love LEMD because I feel like I can partner with a really high quality source of peptides to kind of come alongside and kick off their optimization so much more. And the process is so easy. Like the entire handling of the peptide ordering, the inventory, the regulations, the strictest standards that they follow with the pharmacies. I don't have to worry about issues with the FDA. I don't prescribe as a practitioner. And so to have an MD team available, just making it a very safe process and a reliable process, and also super easy for clients to get started. Like I have clients out of state that can access this. They don't have to have, confusion around that, sourcing through pharmacies and out of state and versus my Houston clients. So for me, it is the simplest solution. It's the most like safe option for my clients. And the other thing that really won me over as a functional practitioner is your focus, Ellie's focus on overall wellness and long-term solutions. And everyone's talking about the health foundations and exercise and nutrition. And I was like, you know what? This just resonates so deeply with me. And that's what truly won me over. I mean, obviously, like LEMD is amazing through and through on so many levels, but that was the one piece that really aligned with me as a functional health practitioner. And I could feel really confident about the culture behind the company. And my favorite peptide I wanted to share is the GLP-1 GIP combination microdosing option because I feel like it is an incredible tool for my health clients that have, been working with me. They've been doing all the right things. And chronic inflammation, blood sugar, crazy cortisol, like the microdosing is just enough to really calm the inflammation, really dial in the blood sugar, calm and balance things out. And it's just been a huge game changer. So for me, that's like amazing. And the easiest way for me to share about LEMD has been just one-on-one with clients, personalizing their care, but also just on social media, like posting interesting research I come across or like the LEMD materials that they have put all together for us. So it's really, really easy to get started and just add it in here and there with all the other things I'm keeping up with. And it's incredible how many people are very very curious about peptides. Like this is such a huge opportunity, timing wise. Everyone's talking about it. So it's a really easy thing to jump in on and share about from my perspective as well. So
Thank you so much, Rebecca. I love that. I love everything that you shared. And it's a great perspective to hear it from a functional practitioner approach. So thank you so much.
thank you.
The next person I would love to introduce is Christine. Christine is a midwife, and she is going to be sharing with us why she is partnering with LEMD. Thank you, Christine, for sharing tonight. I'm glad you're on.
Hey, thanks, Kelly. Yeah, like she said, my name's Christine Jennings, and I'm a nurse midwife. I've been a nurse midwife for 21 years. So I feel like, can you hear me okay? I feel like my stuff is like pausing. Okay. Sometimes our internet, the Zoom acts up, which is crazy because so I live outside of Atlanta, so my Zoom should be fine because I'm like not in the sticks. But I've been a nurse midwife for 21 years. I have 11-year-old twins who are both very busy. So they started middle school, they're in soccer. So I'm a busy mom who works full time and, doing all the things. And I got introduced to LEMD actually a year ago. Kelly had reached out to me. And honestly, my biggest regret is not saying yes a year ago. So that is my biggest regret. But I had reached out to her 4th of July weekend because I was interested in the GLP-1 GIP because I wanted it to help with weight loss because I'm in my mid 40, actually upper 40s. I'll be 48 in November. And I was wanting something to, I was doing all the things. I was working out, I was eating well, and nothing was helping. So I'd reached out to her really about the product. And she was like, I think with you being a midwife and your influence and just all that like I really think that the business would be great. And I'm like, well, tell me more. And we had talked last fall, and so she kind of shared more. And I've always been in the supplement world. I've been a big supplement person for 10, 15 years. I've always taken supplements. But supplements, they work for some people, they don't always work for some people. Peptides work for everybody. Like they're science backed. These are prescription grade peptides, so they work. And I'm like, I was kind of tired of, well, this works for this person, but it might not. Well, we know that the peptides work for everyone. And so the fact that they were, they're science backed, they're the prescription grades. We have a network of doctors, so I'm not having to prescribe. Now, as a nurse midwife in my every day-to-day job, I do prescribe. But for this, we refer to our doctor network, so you don't have to know all the things. It's good to have that background of being able to educate people, and that's what I love to do, and that's why I think it's so great as a nurse or a nurse practitioner or PA or anybody that's in the medical field, you're already educating people. You already like to help people. You're already wanting people to get healthy. And so having this, I think it pairs so well. And you can do this with your full-time job. I work as a full-time midwife. I work 40, sometimes 48 hours a week. Soccer fields 5 days a week and doing all the things with the kids, but you can work this. That's the beauty of this, is you can really work this into the pockets. Yesterday I was, working at soccer practice at the soccer fields. And, you don't have to put in 8 hours of day to this. You can really put in what you want to put in. And that's why I think it's so great. So if you're looking for something to add an additional income because you want to pay for club soccer and competitive cheer and travel baseball and all these things that are just getting more and more expensive, you can do that if you're looking to make a few hundred or if you're looking to make thousands or replace your income. And that is my goal. Don't tell my doctors. My goal is to replace my income because I I love delivering babies, but I do not want to deliver babies for another 25 years. I cannot be delivering babies at 70. So, this is a good way to transition and to build that up. And, there's the opportunity to you can get paid really well just as an affiliate and just having people order peptides. You make a 20 to 40% commission. And I think Kelly's going to talk a little bit about this kind of at the end. But then, you have where you can grow a team. And that's the part that I love, is that you can choose to do one or the other. You can choose to do both. I choose to do both because I love having a team. But I just think it pairs so well because it's science backed, because you can make those recommendations and you can still continue to help people and do the things that as nurses and healthcare providers, we love to do. So I've been with the company just for a couple months, but the culture we have here, the systems we have in place, It makes it so easy to get in and get started. And you really can truly put in as little or as much as you want to. So thanks, Kelly, for having me.
Oh,
Thank you so much, Christine. Thank you so much for sharing. That was so great. And so our final guest tonight is Brittany, and Brittany is a nurse practitioner. And so I'm going to have her come on and share her story. And then after that, I will stop the recording so we can have a nice recording. And then I do see some questions that we will hopefully have time to address. If you do have any questions, you can pop them in the chat. Thanks, Brittany, for being on.
Hey guys, thanks Kelly for having me. My name is Brittany, and like Kelly said, I'm a nurse practitioner. I live in South Carolina, and I'm a mom of three and a wife. My three children are 8, 5, and 2. And prior to becoming a nurse practitioner, I was an ER nurse. I worked in a level 1 trauma center in the ER. I absolutely loved the ER, but I realized really quick how easy burnout happens and how difficult it is to work those long 12-hour days and to be able to be a mom at the same time. So after I transitioned to becoming an NP, I worked in urgent care in an urgent care setting, and I thought the schedule would be easier, but actually, in all reality, it still was just as demanding. I still found myself missing out on little moments, missing out on the school drop-offs, missing out on the pickups, and missing out on the baseball games or the parents viewing of dance. And so those things just really weighed on me, and I knew I wanted to be present for my family, and that's where LEMD comes in. A year ago, Kelly reached out and she said, I've got an opportunity to present to you. And I was like, hold on a minute. How does this work? Like, I can prescribe in South Carolina, but how does it work if I'm not prescribing? So I think that's what I love about LEMD, because I'm still able to make an impact. I'm still able to, share health and wellness with clients who come to me, but I'm not prescribing. I am pointing them to a safe way to get their peptides from 503A and ABP certified pharmacies that are located within the US. You don't have to question where it's coming from. It ships to you generally faster than Amazon. So it's just, I always get excited because clients are like, oh, they told me 7 to 14 business days and it arrives 2 days later. So it's like, we always get that immediate gratification from it. But what I love as well is obviously that I'm not writing medical orders. I'm not charting late at night. I'm working from my phone. I'm working from the baseball field or the soccer field, like Christine said. Like, I'm able to be anywhere and still feel like I am impacting others' health while working on my own health. And I've been on a weight loss journey myself. I would say my favorite peptide is GLP, GIP, and I have been on tirzepatide since January, and a total of over the last year, I've lost 70 pounds. So I am a much different version of Brittany than I was a year ago. And I'm so, so grateful for that and so grateful for LEMD. I think that the beautiful part about LEMD is I'm able to introduce people to cutting edge therapies like peptides, GLP-1s, and other longevity focused opportunities that are changing lives. We're reversing aging. We're basically stopping it before it ever even occurs. So hopefully keeping them from needing, chronic care management, keeping them from needing medications that they would have otherwise needed, especially if they're on a GLP and they've lost weight. And so for now, I work from home. I make my own schedule. I get to see beautiful faces like Kelly's every day and talk to her and get to partner with a community that is just unlike anything I've ever been a part of. And I would like to say a sisterhood in a way, because truthfully, like it's just different here. I mean, Kelly called me the other day on my promotion day, and I'm literally having a call with her crying and sharing emotions with her that, working in healthcare, like obviously I cried with some of my patients and cried with some of my coworkers, but it's just different. This hits different because I'm doing it from home. I'm doing it for my family. I'm still able to contribute and doing it with a safe community. And
that text was to Ashley.
oh. But if you've ever wondered if there's a way to use your degree and your knowledge and your passion for medicine without sacrificing your life in the process, I invite you to take a look at this opportunity, because it's unlike anything I've ever been a part of. And we hope to have you with us because it truly is one of a kind.
Thank you, Brittany. That is so wonderful. Thank you so much.